Hey True Crime members, it's me, Monkey here, and the topic of today's video is the Advanced Warfare multiplayer livestream breakdown. And with that, let's go and begin. Okay guys, so really quickly, I want to say this isn't going to be an in-depth breakdown where we're like, okay, frame by frame, let's look at these individual things to expose things and reveal things. This is going to be more of a generalization breakdown, just showing you the overall, here's the new things that are going on, here's the important things. I'm going to be doing in-depth breakdowns in later videos, so, subscribe to my channel if you're new, if you want to see that stuff, or just wait to the end to see if you even like my style of how I do things. But, with that, let's go and start doing the generalization. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be talking about, guys, is yes, there is going to be exoskeleton suits in multiplayer. If you don't know, that was one of the big things that a lot of people were wondering, and yes, it's 100% confirmed, and we're going to be talking about some things about them. First off, the exo movements, the things that you're able to do with the exosuit, and, that kind of stuff. Not the abilities, but the movements to which you can use. The first one is the jump, which is basically, just jump with a little jetpack boost, and then the next one is a dash, which is while you jumped in air, then you get a little bit of mobility. You're able to choose like, okay, I jumped in the air, dash right, dash left, dash forwards, that kind of stuff. And the final little movement that you can do after you jump into the air is called the boost slam, which is the actual name to which they called it. So like if you jump in the air and you're like, oh, there's an enemy, then you dash downwards and it slams into the ground and it kills the enemy. And that's what you're able to do when you're jumping with the exoskeleton suit. When you're on the ground, the abilities that you're able to do is called the boost slide, which instead of doing like a dolphin dive or just a regular knee roll, what you do is you kind of go to your knee and then it boosts you forwards. So that's the little exo ability that you're able to move forwards with the little slide. And then you get what are called is a boost dodge, which allows you to either boost left or boost right. There is no boost backwards, just boost left and boost right, which is, ways to get in and out of cover. So those are the little exoskeleton movements that you're able to do with your jetpack on the back. Now that that's covered, let's go and move on to the next little things, the exo abilities. I won't get into all of them right now. I'll just give you a generalization of some of the things that you're able to do. One of the first abilities is the exo shield. So instead of you having a riot shield now, where you got to select it as a weapon and stuff, it's now an exo ability. It's just like pops out of your wrist and then you got a little shield. It doesn't last forever. It's actually a pretty short amount of time. It would essentially be able to like, boom, call it in, you lean out, check what's going on, okay, now whenever the enemies are, then you come back in. Because it's not something that lasts forever because it does take a battery charge. All your abilities do whenever you're using these things. The next ability is called the Exo Camo, which, as you can imagine what it is, it's camouflage, makes you invisible, turns off your name and stuff. It's pretty decent. I guess the only way that it's really useful is if like you're laying down in grass or something, because it doesn't really make you completely invisible. It kind of gives you like a super hardcore predator vision where like well, not vision, but it gives you the look of the predator, where everything's all glistening behind you and stuff. But yeah, the last little ability that we're going to go to talk about is the Exo Trophy System. So before we would have the ability to, put down a trophy system, in the past cons, and it would blow up the explosives. Now we just activate the ability and the way they described it was that it deflects and repels grenades. So it's not just blows up on impact and that's done. What it's supposed to do is either like it pushes it away and explodes it, if you get what I'm saying. So if they're near you, it kind of affects them. It's like, oh, blowback, oh no. So that's the way the trophy system works with the Exo. So now that we're done talking about the exoskeleton suits, the next thing that we're going to be talking about is going to change the way we get our stuff in Call of Duty. Really quickly, I want to say we're still going to be leveling up normally where, you get to this level and then you get your AKs and other things like that. But what we're going to be getting is these things called supply drops. And the way you unlock these things is through challenges. They say through time played also in the sense of like, you've played a day, here's a supply drop. And then they also said through challenges. We don't know if they're going to be the same exact challenges that we always see, like, oh, kill the top player and the enemy in the lobby 10 times in one game or whatever it is. So we don't know if it's going to be those same challenges and then we get a supply drop, or if the supply drops are their own unique challenges and whatnot. We're not 100% sure. But anyways, that's how you unlock those things. And what's included in these things is just like what you see in any other game. You get all the little rare stuff that you want to collect, all the collectibles and whatnot. One of the type of items that you can get is the customization for your character, whether it be an exoskeleton suit, whether it be the head mask or gloves or legs or chest pieces, all that kind of stuff. And then you can also get these things called reinforcements, which we'll get into in just a moment. And then that's also where you get your rare weapons. And really quickly, I want to talk about the rare weapons. And the way it works is this. you have your regular weapon that you would unlock and everything like that, and then you get your rare weapons that you get out of your supply drop. And the way the rarity works is you get one called, I need to look at this. You get your enlisted, which is your green, your novice. Okay, it's decently rare. And then you get your professional, which is your next level rarity, and then you get your elite, which is the last level rarity. A super rare thing. And the way the weapon works is you still get, let's just say, like your AK-47, you get that one, and then you're like, okay, this is my base model stuff. And then when you get your rare weapons, what happens is they get boosted in some way. Okay, my rare weapon of this one, it has a little bit more damage than the base model, but it has these negative side effects. And as the rarity goes up, you get more positives and less negatives. And that's the way the rare weapons work. It's still the exact same weapon, but it has different pluses and minuses to it. So like you're like, oh, this legendary weapon of it, I like, it has super good damage, and that's what I've always been looking in this weapon. So yeah, that's the way the rarities work and the weapons and whatnot. So now let's go on and talk about the reinforcements. If you guys have ever played Titanfall and you get those little cards where they're like in-game boosters, in the sense that you get it and then you're like, okay, I got this nice reinforcement. One of the things, like it says here on the screen, it says you receive an orbital care package 2 minutes into your next match, and it will contain a low value score streak. So basically you use this little reinforcement, and then in game a little thing will fall down, you get it, and then that's where you get your care package. You can also get it where it gives you perks in the game. It'll say, okay, in 3 minutes into the next game, you get these perks. Let's say one of them's lightweight. You get lightweight in this one. As you get more and more rare reinforcements, you get better and better stuff. So that's how the reinforcements work, and that's how the whole supply drops work. Now let's go and talk about one of the most important things for multiplayer, the created class system. It's going to be similar to the Black Ops 2 system, the pick 10, but now it's pick 13. And I know what you're thinking, that doesn't sound the same. What's the difference? The difference is now your score streaks you're able to take away and use those individual points differently in your class. But let's go and talk about the weapons really quick. So we've already discussed about the rarity of the weapons and how those use. We can also talk about the attachments, and once again the wildcards are in play. So if you're like, I want to use this wildcard, that's why I get an extra attachment here in my primary. I want to use this wildcard, this way I can use an extra attachment on my secondary. This wildcard for this wildcard for that. You can kind of get what I'm saying. And a new thing, you can use a wild card in order for you to use a 4th kill streak, which I think is pretty cool, because 4 kill streaks, that's pretty awesomeness. But anyways, really quickly, I want to also talk about grenades and your shoot abilities. So as you can probably tell, there's no individual slot for your grenades, because you have to substitute either a shield ability or a grenade for either or. They're in the same class, and the reason being is because one of the suit abilities, if you will, is that you get a wrist launcher for your grenades. So how you shoot your grenades is through your wrist launcher. And before you say, oh no, now everyone gets a grenade launcher, no, they still function the same, whether it be a frag grenade or a Simtex or a smoke or any of those things like that. The reason why you have a wrist launcher now is because everyone has the ability to dash away and, fly away with their jetpacks. So they say they're really thinking of everything and how to make everything balanced and still useful, and this is one of the ways. So you're able to get your frag grenade or your Simtex on target quicker because of the ability that if it was just a regular grenade that you got to cook and then throw, everyone would be like, oh, look at this symbol. Dash, and then they're out of the way. So they want to get things on target quicker and move things along faster. So that's one of the reasons why that it's in the suitability slot, or you guys know what I mean. So if you want to use your grenades, you got to swap out a suitability, or if you want to use a suitability or exoskeleton suit, I just keep saying suit because it's a freaking suit. You got to swap out the grenades and whatnot. So one of the last things that I want to talk about that's new in the pick 13 system is the ability to make custom kill streaks. The one that we see up on the screen right now is the UAV, and the standard model of it costs 300 score streak in order to unlock. But as you see, there's a whole bunch of little symbols and points here. You're like, what does that mean? Well, let's say that you want to make your UAV a scrambler also. What that's going to do is it's going to add 200 points to your score streak, which is basically, either more assists, more captures, or more kills in order to unlock it. So it changes it from a 300-point module or a 300-point score streak into a 500-point score streak. And, if you want to customize it, make it better, or get it earlier, you can either get an advanced model of the UAV, through customization, or you can just have a basic model and get it sooner. And that's one of the cool things about this new thing. You can really customize what you want, And one of the last little things that's also in there is that you have the ability to make it into a support kill streak, which is their take on the Modern Warfare / Ghost series, where you get a UAV, but you don't have to get it in one life. You get all the points and kills and whatnot that you need, but you can constantly die. And not every single kill streak has the ability to turn into a support streak. And depending on the kill streak, the points added to it in order to make it into a support streak also goes up. And one of the really cool things, if you're like, man, I want one of the super UAVs, and it's not just going to be really cheap. For instance, if you wanted to add all these things together, it would be 18 kills or 1,800 score streak in order for you to unlock this UAV if you were to tick everything. It's not where you go to unlock the individual little modules. That's what some people are thinking, like, oh no, I gotta buy these things and then people are gonna have super UAVs. No, it just adds to your score streak to make it a more expensive score streak. The things that make it better also make it more expensive. And one of the new abilities in the score streaks is the ability to do co-op kill streaks. For example, we got the Warbird here, and when you call it in, you're able to have your buddy also go up in there with you and either tag people, or he could also start shooting things down. But in order for you to use it as a co-op system, you're gonna have to tick one of the abilities here, as you can see, that makes it the Warbird Wingman, which makes it more expensive to use. Once again, not every kill streak has this ability, but when they do, they cost more in order for you to get them. Next, we're going to be talking about the new system to be able to customize your character, which is what they call create an operator. And as you can see, the things that you're able to customize are such as eyewear, helmets, tops, which is your chest, and then you have your gloves, and you have pants, knees guards, and boots, and then your exoskeleton suit itself. So those are the things you're able to customize, and once again, you can get things through also pre-orders, and you can also get them through the supply drop. So that's the way you get your extra customization and the things that you're able to customize, which is pretty cool. So one of the new things that they changed, which a lot of my friends are saying, finally, about time, they've finally done it, is they changed the waiting system when you're going to find a match, which now they call the virtual lobby, which is basically, it has your little scoreboard, as you can see in the corner, and then you have your character sitting there with all your stuff and everything. So it's not just your name, and then you got to click over and view it. It's your name somewhere else, and then you're actually seeing your soldier itself to kind of show off what you have, which is really cool. And I like it because it's different and it's new, and it's not just that same little freaking graphic where it's just the lobby and then you're just sitting there and there's nothing to do. It seems a lot more interactive and a lot more just advanced. It's about time that they changed it. One of the new things that they've also changed about the virtual lobby is that they added a new thing called the virtual firing range, which is something that you can do at any time, whether you're just in a party and you're just waiting and everyone's customizing their thing. You can instantly, within a button push, go into the virtual lobby and test your weapons and whatnot and see how everything's going to be working out. Or if you're in the in-game lobby, you instantly just push this button, you go there and you can test out your weapons, test out your sights, see if you like it, see the recoil, see how things look like. And I love this idea because now instead of because you guys know, sometimes you're just sitting there waiting forever for a lobby to go. You can just go kick it into the firing range and go shoot things. You don't have to leave the lobby. It's not like, oh, wait a second, guys, I got to go test my weapon. Then you leave to go test on the firing range. It's just within a button push. No loading, no nothing like that. Just instantly go in there, test your weapons. And it seems really cool. And I really like the idea of you testing your weapons without having to leave your party and whatnot. And it's a little activity that you can do when you're bored. So one of the last things I'm going to be talking about isn't something that's new in the sense of an addition to the game or a feature. It's actually just something that's pretty cool. It's called the Day Zero edition of the game, and it's basically the game's going to be coming out a day earlier for the people who have pre-ordered. So the people that are planning to just walk up and buy it the first day, we're gonna get it earlier than the people that pre-ordered. So basically you get it one day earlier, for the midnight release, if you will. I guess midnight Day Zero edition release, I don't know, but during that whole day it's a double XP feature, which is really freaking awesome. And yeah, I think it's kind of cool. It's weird because in the sense that anyone that was pre-ordering was gonna get it the first day, so it's almost like, hey, it's coming out on the 15th. No, really, it's coming out on the 14th. We're gonna lie about it or something. I don't know. It seems weird, but it's cool. You get an extra little graphic on your game, and you get double XP for the first day, which is pretty freaking cool too. But yeah, that's gonna end it there, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. That's kind of the rough generalization of all the important things that I think that can be done really quickly. So yeah, if you guys want to see more depth stuff about the game, the creator class and all the perks and all that kind of stuff, that's going to be in my later videos. So if you guys are new to the channel, maybe subscribe if you want to see more of that stuff. And don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and maybe share with your friend if you think they can find it informational or helpful and that kind of stuff. So anyways, guys, ending it there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I'm Monkey Chicken. That's all I really got. Peace.